Welcome back, guys. I've had this Hammer 1275 equipped Sportster Roadster for about 20,000 miles now. I've had the bike much longer than that, but I've had the Hammer kit in it for that much time. And I want to answer Google's top 10 questions about the Hammer 1275 kit. So question number one, how much horsepower will I actually make? Well, that depends. If you just do the 1275 kit, nothing else, you're gonna make 75, 80 wheel, okay? Which is very respectable, by the way. That is a nice number, especially if you're coming from an 883, and even if you're coming from a 1200, you'll notice that a little bit. If you wanna make 100-ish wheel, you're gonna have to do the Impact 560 cams. If you wanna make 95-ish wheel, you can do the Impact 570 cams. The difference there being the RPM band, so the 560s rev to 7,000, the 570s only rev to 6,000. So, that kind of puts you in that power level. If you do head work, you can get into that 120, 130 horsepower range, no problem. You also need to do some supporting mods, carb, fuel injectors, bigger intake manifold, depending on how much power you go. So really the answer is anywhere from like 75, 80 wheel to 130 wheel. And if you get really spicy and crazy about it, you might even be able to push that a little bit more, optimize your exhaust, really optimize your tune, et cetera, et cetera. And let me tell you what, on this chassis, that any of those numbers are very respectable. And when you push that 130, 40 horse mark, you better do some stuff with the suspension because it's going to start feeling a little bit crazy. So that's like a good spot to be in with these. Question number two, will a 1275 kit ruin my engine's reliability? Absolutely not. Luckily, the Sportster runs pretty cool to begin with. The 75 extra cc's is not that much extra size. It doesn't really create that much extra heat, even with a higher horsepower kit. The cylinder lining that they use is a very special, specific material that is meant to handle any extra compression and any little bit of extra heat and stuff like that. It will be as reliable as any stock bike. And the transmissions are very heavy duty in these just from the factory, especially if you're in that 100 wheel range, you'll be fine. If you're pushing 130, 140, you may start to experience some transmission stuff at higher mileage, but at that point, you got to ask yourself if you want to maybe go through some of that kind of stuff anyway. But yeah, I would say not at all. There will be really no difference in reliability. Question number three, do I have to upgrade my clutch? Yes, and even on a stock bike, yes. So these clutches stock it's like one of the only flaws of the Sportster. They have this brass riveted like spacer plate, and the brass rivets wear out, and then the spacer plate breaks, and your clutch gets stuck closed, right? So you can't pull your clutch in. So you should upgrade your clutch anyway. All you need for like the 100 horse range is a 15% overspring and a little bit fancier clutch discs. In the 120, 30 horsepower range, you might have to go to like a 25% over clutch disc, spring, and then do the fancier discs as well. But you don't have to do anything crazy to the clutch, and it will feel roughly the same, but you do have to upgrade it for the kit. But it's not terribly hard to do or expensive. Question number four, what's better, 1250 or 1275? Well, as far as I know, they don't even make the 1250 kit anymore. The 1275 kit is basically the same cost and gets you a little bit more power and is just as reliable. So the 1275 kit is objectively better in every way. And like I said, I don't think you can even get the 1250. Now, I think S&S still makes a 1250 kit that is like different material, different company. Their kits, I think, are fine, but to be honest, the cost is basically the same. I would go with the Hammer Performance Kit every day, all day, every day, personally. I'm obviously biased because that's what I did. Question number five, can I use my stock 883 heads with the 1275? Yes, you have to have a little bit different pistons, and because you have a smaller head, so your compression will be way too high, so they actually do a dished piston. But you can use the 883 heads. They actually flow pretty well, stock, and that's totally fine. You can also get the 883 heads reworked to where they're functionally the same as a reworked 1200 head. So that's always an option too. So yeah, you don't have to spend a bunch of money to do this. You can use your heads. Question number six, what tuner do you need for the 1275 kit? EFI bikes, Hammer recommends, I believe, the Vance & Hines FP4, which is just the one that you would get for like any fuel injected bike. You really want, for any bigger amount of power, an HSR 42 carb. In my opinion, you can use a CV carb, but it just gets a little quirky with the extra power and compression. I tried it, that's why I know this. So HSR 42 is great. HSR 45 or 48 for the bigger powers is great. And then, yeah, so then that works out pretty well. Question number 7, do I need to change my 883 gearing? No. However, you may be able to run out of gear before you run out of power. 883s are geared really low, and you're going to be taking that bigger engine and screaming it pretty high RPM. You just may want to change the gearing. You don't need to, but you may want to. And it's not terribly expensive to mess with the pulleys and or inside the primary, so definitely keep that in mind. If you do these 7,000 RPM cams, the Impact 560 cams, then you can stick with your 883 gearing and still have really long legs. If you want a very sporty bike that's really whole shots off the line and have that higher RPM, keep that 883 gearing and you'll actually be happier with it. Question number 8, what is the heat cycle break-in procedure? Please go read it on their site. I'm just giving you a rough idea, but it is very, very specific and complex, but it essentially starts off with, and again, this is not the exact procedure, but you basically start the bike up for like 10 seconds, shut it off, let it fully cool. 30 seconds, shut it off, let it fully cool. 1 minute, shut it off, let it fully cool. Then you take it for like a 1 mile ride, let it fully cool. Then you go for 10-mile ride, let it fully cool. And then you kind of ride it your 500 miles easily until it's fully broken in. Because of the cylinder liner material they use, their break-in is very, very, very specific, much more specific than like a normal car engine or even like a lot of race car engines. So just go on their site, follow the directions exactly. You spent all this money and all this time to get this thing installed. Just do the break-in correctly. And if nothing else, in good conscience, if you do have an issue, you can look the guy in the eye and say, hey, I did the break-in exactly as you said, but I still have an issue. Which you probably won't have an issue. Question number 9, which cams work best with the 1275 kit? Define best. If you have a passenger all the time, I'd go 570. I'd go with the lower RPM cams. I have the 560 cams, so I have the higher RPM cams. It's a little bit, tiny bit of a dog off the line with the 1200 gearing. Not terrible. I don't mind it. But, it takes a little bit to get up on the cam. You need to be at 3,000 plus RPM to really get that thing to pull. So you'll find yourself downshifting a little bit more up hills and stuff. If you do the 570s, that'll keep that Harley like stump pulling torque. I personally didn't care about that, but that would definitely be better for somebody who's putting around more, has a passenger. If you're just trying to rip, get the 560s. And lastly, question number 10, how much does the total conversion cost all in? Well, again, that'll depend on the kit. Very, very basic 1275, done as cheaply as possible, is going to be sub $2,000. With a little bit of add-ons and stuff like that, you might be in the 2,500 range. If you're doing all the head work and doing the bigger carb and doing all that kind of stuff, it could be 3, 4, 5 grand. It just depends on if you're doing an exhaust, it can be as much as that. But on the low end, sub 2 grand by a touch. On the high end, call it 5 grand, which is a lot of money. But man, if you really love these bikes, it just wakes them up and it is so much fun. And I highly recommend doing it. Just save up your money, try to put away some money every week until you can afford it, whatever you got to do, but highly recommend. So as somebody's owned this for a while, let me know, if you think my answers are wrong. Maybe you also have a 1275 kit or you're thinking about one. Let me hear it in the comments. And as always, guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.